What is up, everybody? Nightwolf here, and welcome back to Mechs of the Roundtable podcast. And as per usual, I am joined by Megazord, who has been the most dedicated noob I have ever seen.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the acknowledgement.
And Shinanju is back. Say hi.
Hello.
Yeah. And also, I am greeted by one of my other comrades in arms on YouTube, Rabbit Sensei Gaming.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be back, even though we're not really playing a game this time.
No, we're not playing a game. Nope, we're just going to be talking about random stuff.
Wait,
Nerd
or
stuff.
are we going to be playing mind games?
I don't know. Do we want to play mind games? Do we
Is it
really?
possible to not play mind games? That's the question.
I don't.
I don't know. Last time that happened, I ended up in a pretty unhappy relationship. So let's not do that.
Okay. We'll avoid that for Sunanju's very for his psyche and for his.
I won't.
I won't.
Oh, you dog.
Oh boy, we're off to a rousing good start. Well, actually, considering that Rabbit is here, maybe we'll let him introduce himself. He has been on the channel before, but it doesn't hurt for a reintroduction and talk a little bit about your interests and stuff.
All right, sure. Yeah, my name is Jeremy Stanfield, also known as Rabbit Sensei Gaming on YouTube. I am a Gundam enthusiast. Actually, I'm just an overall mech enthusiast, from Armored Core, Gundam, even BattleTech on the old board game. I love that thing.
Wow.
So yeah,
Cool.
I'm a nerd and I'm proud of it.
Yes, let's raise that nerd flag high and proud.
Hashtag embrace the nerd.
Already
Fitting
busted up
for the
on-
day.
Yeah, it's fitting. It's perfect.
Well, I'll leave on that high note now. Thanks for having me on the show.
Okay, your exit is to the left.
Yeah, get out.
No, you have to stay here.
All right.
Can't leave yet. Actually, what I was I forgot to say this, but I'll talk about it later. It's random, unimportant. Ignore the man behind the curtain.
Wait,
Okay.
Random, unimportant?
Yes.
But that's the most important stuff.
Isn't that normally what we talk about? Is random and unimportant stuff that for the general populace could care less about?
Well, the general populace can go suck it.
Bravo,
Well
sir.
spoken. Well
Bravo. Okay. All right. So I feel like it's been a slow news week or so, or just for Gundam news or anything else. If you guys have news you'd like to share, please feel free to do so. But actually, I wanted to start by this. Rabbit already knows about this, and I'm gonna talk to you. I want your guys' take on this, or we'll all give our take on it. What was it? On Anime News Network, this has been floating around for a while. There seems to be some complaints, scenes in Iron-Blooded Orphans has caused viewers to complain. And I'm going to read the article verbatim because it's not very long, and then we'll give our take on it. Let's see. The Japanese Broadcasting Ethics and Program Improvement Organization, or BPO, watchdog groups, has recently published viewer complaints for October. One most likely streaming for a scene in Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. The complaint refers to an anime where several non-resistant prisoners and enemy soldiers are gunned down by the young male protagonist. It does not directly name Iron-Blooded Orphans in the complaint. The grievance also stated concerns of children watching the mecha anime, expressing worry over the potential influence that such a violent scene could have of child viewers. I'm not done yet.
Sorry.
Interesting.
If you look at the title, one would immediately think that this is as a children's show. Think of this as a children's show, and that many children will be watching. Wait, what? They concluded their statement with the following: if you want to... Why is there 2 twos in this article? Seriously, Anime Network, you're slipping on your editing. Broadcast such material, please provide some sort of age limit for viewers. Earlier this year in August, the BPO also published a complaint against the ending sequence to... Oh, I don't really care about that. That's another anime that really isn't important to what we're talking about. Okay. So, basically, people are complaining about some of the deaths in Iron-Blooded Orphans. What are our general thoughts on this so far?
All right. Well, who's going first?
Who wants to go first?
Oh, I want to go first. I'm actually a little bothered by this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear it. I can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That website does not have to be everyone's freaking parent. If you don't want your kids watching this, they shouldn't. Listen, like Gundam, as well as many other animes, have an age limit, especially the Gundam Menace series has so many different shows. Bounded, some are more for kids, like, obviously the SDs. And so then you have, like, all right, why are they complaining about this? Have they seen the first 10 minutes of F91? like, Jesus Christ, like, it just... That kind of stuff bothers me. Of course, there's always going to be people who complain. Should there be an age recommendation? Yeah, sure, why not? But don't, like, set, like, I don't know. This is bothering me.
Yeah, it bothers me too. The one thing that I know about Gundam, especially in Japan, not here in the States. In the States, the audience is, I think, for the most part, much older than the general demographic for Japan. In Japan, Gundam is for young kids to teenagers. Therefore, between the ages of 12 and what I'm assuming is probably about 17 to 18 years of age. That is the age gap.
Well, that has to do with how they broadcast their television shows over there.
Yeah.
They tend to show, like, you'll watch an anime where it's pretty violent or whatever, and then it'll have, like, a lot of kiddie humor in there where it's really lighthearted at times.
Yeah.
And I've had a friend who's gone over to Japan multiple times. I asked him about that. And I said, why does that happen? Why does it, like, you'll have some good action, then it gets really, like, cringeworthy at times? He said, well, because they want to appeal to a wider audience to save money, so they're going to try to show it to the widest demographic they can, so they have to mix in things. And he said it's like the equivalent of mixing middle school and high school together, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, I think I get it. But I think that this is an invalid argument. Gundam has always had, for at least a good majority of their shows, especially main canon shows and whatnot, and even alternate universe stuff, that's always had violent and brutal deaths in it, almost in every single one, well, except for the ones that are more geared towards a younger audience, like, Gundam Build Fighters and the SDs, as was already mentioned. But I mean, I understand if you're a parent and you don't want your kid to see that sort of stuff, it's your job to relegate and make sure that they don't watch it. That's not the company's responsibility. The company is only interested in making money. They're trying to sell a product. They don't care who's watching the product. They could care less about who's watching the product at this point. So I don't understand what the issue really is. I mean, for Western audience guys, they're going to be like screaming up and down the halls probably. For me, I'm fairly civil about this because there are lots of different Gundam shows, and a lot of them, even art style wise, may look different. And it's like, why would I watch that Gundam show? I mean, Gundam Age got heat for just its appearance alone. That and the slight possibility that the enemies were aliens. But they got in trouble, or people were complaining about the art design for particularly like character designs and whatnot. No, I don't know if anyone complained about mech design that much, but art for like the characters and whatnot, they looked incredibly childish and very lighthearted and friendly. But if you go and actually watch the show, that is not the vibe you get from it. At least not entirely. At least that's not what I got from it.
Yeah, and if I may say something about this too, why do people think that Gundam is meant to be a kid show? It is not. It is aimed towards young adults to to our generation even.
Yeah.
Because look at the 8th MS team for one.
Yeah.
At the point when I'm going to give some spoilers here for some people, so this is your spoiler warning.
Megazord, plug your ears.
Yeah.
No.
The show's over 20 years old. Spoilers don't count anymore.
Well, it might count for Megazord.
I agree with you, man, but I still have to do it anyway to appease the audience.
Okay, how about I just say this to the audience? Okay, Megazord and all those in the audience who've never watched 8th MS Team, plug your ears. You have 5 seconds. 4.
No, they don't. Anyhow, in the 8th MS Team, there is a point where it actually, I believe it's in the, I can't remember if it's the 4th or 5th episode, because it's only a 13-episode OVA series.
Yeah.
But at one point, whenever the Zakus are in the gorilla base, the Commander Zaku gets taken down, and an anti-personnel round goes up into the air and puts holes through all these people, charging them on screen. You see them lying there dead. Gundam is not a kid show. It is a war story. If you expect there not to be violence in a war story, you are an idiot.
Yeah.
Or let's not forget the scene where you see an underage girl's breasts.
Well, technically in Japan, it is of age. No
yes,
joke.
I know that depends on demographic and stuff like that, but when I saw that scene, I was just like, oh my, this is happening. But then I shrugged it off and just like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's 2D. But yeah, and then later on there's also a scene where it shows one of Shiro's flashbacks, and he goes up to someone who's dying, holding them. They put their hand on his helmet, and blood just gets dripped right across his face on there.
Yeah, because the colony had a hole in it, and I guess the person was dying of they were like,
they were slowly but surely imploding, and their hands were the first things to burst open.
Yeah.
But and then of course there was Gundam Seed, which a lot of people in the West hate, and I understand why. But hear me out on this anyway. Even if you don't like Seed, just listen. There's one scene in Seed where I believe I think it's Blitz Gundam is coming up, and Kira turns with his sword variant of the strike, and the pilot of Blitz gets cut right in half on screen with a giant beam saber. You see him cough up blood and talk as he says his farewells.
Yeah, poor Nico.
Plus, in the original Gundam, Char goes up to one of the battleships, blows these people up, and you see their skin get ripped from their bones as well as some blood flying through the air. Gundam is not a kid's show. It should not be moderated by the FCC on, you have to change this because this is for kids. No, it is a young adult to adult series with big moral points that are getting across. The main one being war is bad and is going to kill a lot of people.
Yeah, that should be the more general consensus of the show. Although I think this is for the Japanese broadcasting ethics and program. This isn't from our side of the ocean. It's from the other side. It's from the people who are actually living in the area. So
true, but when I say FCC, I mean sort of like a world-encompassing censorship.
Ah, yes. Okay, but yeah. Okay, well, we've got some non-Jews. We've got mine. We've got Rabbit. Okay, Megazord, your turn to chime in.
Okay. Well, I think it is interesting that because from what you said, I haven't read the article myself, but because they spoke about the main protagonist, gunning down
Mika.
Particularly gunning down people, and that being the concern. And it has been interesting the past few years, maybe even past 10 years.
Yeah.
There's been sort of a romanticization. I don't know if that's a word. Romanticization. There we go.
Yeah,
of the cold-hearted, more towards of a the sociopath.
Yeah.
Type of personality.
Yeah, more of them have become stars in TV and whatnot in movies.
Yeah, and I think some of that's reflected in Mika.
Yeah.
Just killing him, and I can understand, I guess some concern that way, because it's maybe not that it's showing the death of a person, but the circumstance of
how these
that
people
person
are
being
dying.
killed. Yeah,
I think
it's like almost inconsiderate.
Yeah, the way that
of life, and then the effect that could have on young people. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, Rabbit and Sinanju were making the points about all of the other people who've died in Gundam, but there is, I guess, the more valid part of this argument would be the fact that that these guys that a lot of the time that Mika is killing are either unarmed or unable to fight. I can see where that could be a slight problem. A slight problem, I say, only because I watched Setsunaev say gun down his parents when he was like 12 years old, with no remorse on his face doing so, because he was being brainwashed into believing he was fighting a holy war. So, could someone please explain to me why this is anything new? Because it's not. Unarmed civilians have been casualties in Gundam for years, so it's really nothing new.
And I completely agree on that. It's nothing new at all. As I said, look at the guerrillas and 8th MS team. They were technically, most of them that got killed were civilians. Some of them were just running up with, pitchforks and stuff saying, "Get out of our village."
Yeah.
And this happening on screen, with the people being gunned down in cold blood by the main character, that's actually a good thing to get on screen, because it shows the harshness of war and what stuff really does happen. Yes, it's going to freak out people, but it's trying to get across the point that this is the wrong thing to do.
Yep. That is true.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
War is hell. This is reality. War is hell.
They're not really sugarcoating it or anything,
No, Gundam is very
making
rarely...
it seem like it's something else.
Yeah, Gundam is very rarely, if ever, sugarcoated war. I think the only time when they did, where, there's no repercussions for, like, your actions and whatnot, was in Seed and Destiny for the most part. Because, some characters were supposed to have died, but survived. Well, Kira aside, I don't even want to discuss the whole Jesus Yamato thing, because who knows? Well, I'll talk about it maybe, but I'm more concerned about a few of the other characters that should have died, and obviously they did die, or should have. Well, one is Shin. When the whole situation when fighting Kira happened, and he attacked the nuclear reactor and impaled it, both of them should have died. Not just Kira, but also Shin as well, because he's not protected against a nuclear blast. And everybody who's part of that whole Jesus Yamato fan club or church or whatever you want to call it, like to say, it's like, oh no, that was not a nuclear explosion. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a giant mushroom cloud is not a nuclear explosion. Sure, okay. You get an A+ for being an idiot.
Yeah, Chernobyl. Yeah, that wasn't what you thought it was.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man, on the whole, that would have killed. And let's face it, it was just plot armor that saved him.
Yeah, it wasn't even good plot armor. It was bad plot armor.
I know, it's the same plot armor that saved Hiro Yoi whenever he blew up the original Wing Gundam and was right in the middle of the blast. He escaped with a few bruises and cuts.
Yeah.
Really dumb.
Yeah. Well, and the other person who should have died, but didn't, was what is his name? The other Char clone.
Oh,
the Quattro one.
Oh, I know which. Mulaflaga?
Yeah, Mu. Mu was he got a Lohengrin to the face in the perfect strike. He should be dead. He got blown up. There was no explanation for that. There was nothing left of the strike afterwards. No one went and looked for it.
Well, here's the thing. That happened in the TV version, but in the movie or OVA variant, they retconned it. That's the only reason why. So. Well,
the movie isn't immaterial when we're talking about the show. I don't know.
Well, technically, the movie retconned the series to try to fix a few things people complained about, so that Destiny could be done better.
Sure.
Hey, that's how it was. It turned out differently, but
Yeah, it turned out very differently. They tried, but still, we're talking about a full-blown plasma cannon shot to the brunt of his mobile suit. I don't think any format of explanation is going to save his butt from death. And the worst he gets out of it is a scratch on his face.
There's a force field.
A magical force field of love and not wanting him to die. And what was even worse is in Destiny, they turned him into a full-blown villain for no reason. Just because I was like, oh, I don't know, I have amnesia, so I must be evil.
Yeah. Or how about the... oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, what about the end to F91 where Cecily was still alive?
Oh, yeah.
Right next to a massive explosion. Like, nothing protecting her, just a spacesuit, and she lived.
Yeah.
If there's not plot armor, I don't know what is.
Yeah, exactly. As you just said, the whole reason for these characters living is purely plot armor.
Yeah.
And
they're protected because they're important.
Yeah, and let's face it, it's a thing that's just sorry, if I can talk. It's a thing that's there because they know that a lot of fans will get angry if one of their favorite characters dies.
Yeah, well, that happened with like Death Note when Death Note's first half ended.
yeah, but that's a different company.
Yeah, I was just diverting off topic. Basically, it's like, yeah, a lot of people got upset with that ending.
Oh, then someone needs to call George R.R. Martin and write him an angry letter.
I was about to say, we see the formula that really works for getting fans and retaining viewers with George R.R. Martin. So let's start killing awesome good guys that we love.
Exactly. I mean, that's why in light novel trilogy I've been working on, let's just say one of the main characters doesn't make it. So
yeah. I remember you talking to me about that one point. Yeah. It's like, it's the reality. Sometimes the main character doesn't survive. It's just
I'm gonna
how
pull
it
you
goes.
guys back then.
Okay.
The movie Psycho.
Yes.
Main character is killed off in the first 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, which variant of the movie are you talking about? Are you talking about the remake or the classic?
I'm talking about the classic.
Okay, thank you.
I've never really watched that movie. I'm not much for thrillers or for horror related things all the time.
But you can handle people being shot down with a machine gun.
And with giant robots. Yes, I can handle that. No, it's not that I can't handle it. It's just that there's certain things in horror films and whatnot I'm just not interested in. Well, at least not American ones. If you want to consider Gundam a horror show, then I've been a fan of a horror show for almost 17 years or so, if not longer.
Hey,
someone should put together a trailer and make it Gundam look like a horror movie.
I think that would be funny.
That could be good.
Or do it as a romantic comedy.
That was Gundam Wing.
Yes.
Yes.
But Sinanju, what was it you were getting ready to say a moment ago?
Oh, I forgot. Brain fart.
Sorry.
Sorry, I have the attention span of a goldfish.
Don't feel bad. My attention gets distracted too. Hey, look, there's a pretty flower. No.
Yeah, I also got off work not a little too long ago, and my work boots are still on. I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, I gotta get on a podcast tonight. Oh damn.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad that was a thought process. Podcast, damn.
Yeah, that shows the audience how
I hate these guys. Now I gotta get online with them.
Wow, way to show the audience how much you care.
The audience can suck it.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, Sinanju is basically the jackass of the podcast.
Yeah, right.
Well, he is in Char's mobile suit.
Sinanju at full frontals, but...
Oh, sorry. Well, sorry. My brain fart on my end.
Spoilers! I'm triggered.
Everyone's triggered. I'm trigger happy.
I'm saying you guys touched me. That's it.
I need an adult.
Oh, okay, we got to get a little thing of a little mobile suit being held up and saying, "All right, now where'd the bad man touch you?"
He touched me right here in the cockpit.
Oh, so we need the Zone of the Enders mech. Gotcha.
Oh God, I feel really bad for the turn A.
Whew. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you very much. I needed a good laugh for the week I've been having. I need it. Okay. Well, actually, I guess I'll mention this. It's not really important, but off topic. But I recently finished the first half of Zeta Gundam.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
And I am thoroughly happy. And I'm enjoying it.
Have you ever watched it before?
No.
You never. All right. I'll
Except
sympathize with you then, because I only finished it maybe a few months ago, which was cool because I set up a schedule where every single day when I came home from work, I'd watch one episode.
Yeah.
So I really got to stretch it out for a while, and Zeta's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I thoroughly enjoy Zeta. I have not watched a new translation, but Zeta surprised me. I was very, very impressed with it.
Yeah. Well, for me, I only watched maybe the first 13 episodes when it was on Gundam Info. And then it was taken down before I could finish. So, and now, since last week or so, I bought the DVD set, so now I can watch it whenever I want. And I can watch it in whatever variation I want. I can also watch it in English if I so desire. Which, the one thing I want to say, it feels a bit weird. The English the English dub of it for this version sounds weird, especially for characters that I'm already familiar with. And I remembering back to the original Mobile Suit Gundam and the voice dub team for that. I can never remember anybody's names, but the people who played as Bright, the people who played as Amuro, the person who played as Char. Why am I saying people? Like there were multiple people voicing the same character. What's wrong with me? But yeah, the voices sound a bit different. I don't know if it's the same people or if they changed it, because Amuro sort of sounds like the same voice actor, but not quite.
He isn't.
Okay,
Amuro's voice actor changed from the original series to Zeta, and then it went back to the original voice actor for Char's counterattack.
Okay, well, if it's for the English version, that would make sense then.
I think the worst English dub for a Gundam is the original Gundam movie trilogy. In English, it is atrocious.
I've never really watched it. I'd rather
don't.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
For some reason, is very, very British.
Why? Why is Bright British?
They have weird pronunciation. They're basically like, all right. I assume everyone here has seen Char's counterattack.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, except
there
for
was a scene where Char is giving a speech and he pronounces the Titans as the Tetons. That was in the English dub. The reason for that is because whoever gave the voice actor the script wrote it down like that. And he said, just say it as that. It's like, I hope the guy knew that was wrong or that sounded off, but he had to read it anyway. But
well, I mean, to be fair, I'm assuming that he also that the guy who voice acted for Char's counterattack and for the original Gundam did not voice Char in Zeta.
I think they did. They sound very similar.
Yeah, he does sound very similar, but for some reason his voice seems off. Maybe it was the recording setup, or maybe they told him to sound a bit different because he was older. But they went right back to the same voice for Char's counterattack. He sounded exactly the same as he did when he played the voice of Char in the other show, except for that, with... No, he was pretty much the same. I look at both of them and I can't really tell the difference between them, but with Zeta he sounds very different to me for some reason. Maybe
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think Zeta was one of the last shows that they dubbed in English, especially for the UC timelines, so...
Yeah.
Maybe they were running low on budget and they got different mic equipment or something. Different setup.
True. It is possible because I Actually, I think they dubbed Zeta before they dubbed Char's Counterattack.
Yeah.
But it might have been during a transition stage, and that could be why it all sounds different.
Yeah, it could have been.
I mean, the one thing I will say, having characters sound sort of British in the original Gundam Saga wouldn't really be that too off, seeing as how it was essentially World War II with giant robots.
Fair enough, yeah. I mean, but I don't know. I don't really know what Bright's nationality is, even. Because technically, in the original Gundam, the entire world's population and everything has been completely altered and changed. A lot of cities and whatnot are so war-torn, they're not even the same cities anymore. Australia is even more of a barren wasteland in the 1 Year War than it was prior because Zeon dropped a freaking colony on it.
Well, here's actually something. Bright Noah is Chinese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's from Hong Kong.
Okay. Well, then he should have a Hong Kong accent, I guess. Then I don't know.
I don't know. I met plenty of Asians that don't have an accent, so I guess maybe he's from there. But
yeah,
you know, if you have to use it, you know, you got people who are born in one country and sound entirely different based on the area they grew up in. So
yeah, this is very true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a bit off topic, but
yes.
And Megazord, don't worry. When I'm done with Zeta, you can watch it too.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Only if you clean your room.
But only if
Gosh.
clean your room and take out the trash. That's.
And you have to give me a kiss.
Nope. I'm out.
You don't have to go through that many hoops. Trust me. Actually, out of curiosity, I gave you a bunch of DVDs. Did you get any time to watch any of them?
Oh gosh, you have to ask me this in front of everyone.
Of course I do.
No.
Yes, did you watch them?
No, I did not.
Well, I mean, I know you're busy and whatnot. I'm just.
I have plans for tomorrow. I've scheduled some time. That's just how busy I am.
It's
I have to schedule
okay.
time to watch Gundam stuff.
Well, to probably do anything that doesn't involve, you know, your child, your wife, or your work. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
What the heck? Not now, phone. Pick you. Okay. I already know this. Thank you.
Are you talking to your phone, dude?
Yes, I'm talking to my phone. I'm talking to my phone all the time.
What's your phone's name?
His phone. His name is Shut Up, Bob. No.
I think you're supposed to talk into your phone, not at your phone.
Sorry, it was.
Unless it's on speaker, I guess.
What was that? I heard banging.
Oh.
Was that you?
No.
No? Okay.
That wasn't me.
Okay.
Not me either.
All right. Well, it isn't me. Otherwise, the echoing wouldn't be coming from your guys' plate, Mike's.
Oh, great. The ghosts are back.
The ghosts of Zeon have returned once again to wreak their unimaginable havoc.
I know a way to appease them. Seek Zeon!
Did it work? Did they go away? Nope, they're still here.
Oh, God, no. That now they want a union.
Oh, God. Wait, oh, crap. I'm wearing an Earth Federation jacket. I'm screwed!
That's what you get, fatty scum.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Oh, come on. It's not that. I mean, I'm probably not one to talk. I mean, right now, the people at home are seeing the Delta Plus on the screen, so I'm not exempt from that, from the anger of Zeon.
Yeah, you fatty scum.
Sometimes I'm neutral.
Now, let's face it. The best group was the Junker group from Double Zeta.
I haven't seen him.
Oh, okay. Well, long story short, Judo didn't care about Titan, Zeon, Federation, AUG. He realized they were all causing problems and just wanted to stop them all and pretty much get to his own place where he could live his life happily.
Yeah, I do get that vibe from Judo. I think Judo is probably one of my favorite characters that's a main protagonist of Gundam. I like Amuro, and Camille is okay. But I think I like Judo because I like his upbeat attitude and whatnot. in all the Dynasty Warrior Gundam games, he's always upbeat, he's always happy, but at the same time, he can get serious when it's necessary.
I think the only other characters who really, had that same type of personality are Logul from Gundam Seed Astray and Duo Maxwell.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Although Duo was far more interested in causing death and mayhem.
He's an assassin. What do you expect?
He enjoyed it a bit. He enjoyed his work a bit too much.
Yeah, I think my favorite protagonist is Seabook, but I also love F91. If you guys haven't realized yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh yeah. Now I agree. I was just saying like the ones that are like Judo are those two, but my personal favorite is Shiro Amada.
Yeah, I like Shiro too.
Fun fact: Seabook and Shiro are voiced by the same person.
Yes, they are. Same with Benager.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, sometimes they bring the same voice actors to do the same works.
Yeah.
Well, hey, if they're good, why lose them?
Yeah, good point. I have a couple other things to talk about that aren't Gundam related. We'll get back to Gundam maybe in a bit, but I'm gonna go off topic. And I want to get you guys' take on this. For starters, there are going to be no more Spider-Man games made by Bionix or probably anybody else for the foreseeable future.
Okay.
I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to talk about it.
That was a very, very quick random shift.
It was
not so random, but that was a very quick shift.
It was a quick shift. I'm falling behind already.
I would like to hear the guy who has a gaming channel's input on this.
Well, my input on this is I played a few of the Spider-Man games. I haven't played the most recent ones, but from what I've seen, they control pretty well and are nice and fluid. But there have been quite a few glitches with them, as well as they're way too easy from what I see.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man, yes, he's a superhero, but he does need to be able to, be beaten up, because in the comics and in the movies, he's not invincible. He's a normal human with just some extra sensory and reflexes and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's far from not getting his butt kicked, considering in like the first few original books, that's all he did. He got his ass kicked all the time, and some other hero had to come in and save his butt. Like the Human Torch, or someone who was more experienced than he was. Or he got out by the skin of his teeth, which happens a lot.
Exactly, which is why I think if a company gets the rights to make, another Spider-Man game, I know I'm going to be hit with a lot of, backlash from saying this, but I think WB Games NetherRealm Studio would be a good choice. Because they'd be able to keep it dark and gritty like the comics while still keeping a lighthearted, joking atmosphere about it. And they'd be able to get the feeling of what it's like to be a superhero. I mean, they made Injustice, for crying out loud.
Yeah. And from what I played of Injustice, it was a lot of fun. I haven't played the full game. I only played a demo, but I'll get into that at some point. I don't know when.
Well, Injustice pretty much had the same control scheme as BlazBlue and Guilty Gear, so it was made to work pretty well.
Yeah. But, well...
And with the amount of, focus WB usually puts into the story, they obviously understand the story is a very pertinent part of the game. That could be cool, because, it's with...
Hello? Hello?
What defines him. I know that sounds so redundant to say something like that, but you know what I mean.
Okay. Sorry, people cut out.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I wasn't sure if people were cutting out or not. So.
Yeah, there was this utter silence, and I felt like I was the only one talking. I felt like I was the only one in the chat at this point. I was like, am I alone? And now here I am by myself, talking to myself. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yes, it's all right. We do that on a daily basis. We play games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I run a gaming channel too, so the one thing that concerns me about this is that, well, I found this news through other YouTube channels and whatnot, but the thing that concerns me, I think, the most right now is that there's the possibility that the licenses for Marvel games might go to EA. There's the other possibility is that they will go probably strictly mobile.
Okay.
And there will be no more console-based games for
Yeah,
mobile.
you're cutting out.
Ah, crap.
Yeah, we're all kidding out.
Let me check.
Technical difficulties. Wait.
Please hold while your party is reached. Call. Okay, we're back.
Yeah.
Oh, so the enthusiasm has completely died. Okay, podcast's over. Okay, we're done. We're done. Hang it up. Okay, we're leaving. Bye. No, I'm kidding. Woo! Woo! No. But what I was trying to say is that it's a bit concerning if Disney decides to sell the property to EA. That's a bit concerning to me, because I don't trust them. I haven't trusted them for quite a few years, so I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it if EA gets their grubby little hands on it.
Well, here's something to think about.
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront that's coming out here in just a couple days. Well, I just dated the episode. I'm sorry. But
oh, no!
Star Wars Battlefront, Disney gave them the rights to make that game and made sure that they had an absolute direct input on how it looks. So if Disney gives them the right to make the game, they're going to be there to make sure the quality is perfect. So that wouldn't really be a big problem, because EA would have wanted to rush out Battlefront sooner than later, to just get it out there, get money from the hype and all that.
True.
But Disney said, no, keep it held back, make sure it looks perfect. If we don't get it out by the time the new movie comes out, we'll just apologize to the people and say it'll be out soon.
Okay.
So
I guess that's a good way to look at it, if Disney's keeping a close eye on them. I'm still not interested in the new Battlefront because of the direction, but at the very least, quality-wise, it does look good. But that's
whoa. Hold up. Because of the direction? Dude, it's playing just like the other Battlefront games. Battlefront 1 and 2 had a Battlefield-style gameplay. It was from third person the whole time. That's the only difference.
First-person mode isn't my biggest concern. My biggest concern is the lack of other things that I don't know if it'll even be in the game at this point. I liked Conquest mode. And as far as I know, that's not coming back. And
Conquest mode is the main thing for it. Oh, no, wait, you mean other Conquest mode, like from Battlefront 2? Yeah, I don't know if that's coming back. It might, but here's another thing. The whole game is essentially a Conquest game. So that right there makes it to where it's sort of a constantly running game online, because let's face it, it's going to be an online thing, or offline with bots on the two-player split screen, or even single-player split screen, because they do have that sort of bot horde mode thing that actually has an objective where you can complete it, which is nice. I'm glad it's not just an endless horde mode. But in the end, it is being made very well. We don't know all details about it right now, because they want to save some things for whenever it's released, because otherwise people go, oh, the hype is over for this, now we don't really care. So that's why they have to keep things quiet. And even if they don't bring a risk style conquest mode back, like from Battlefront 2, the game will be just fine, because it's playing like Battlefront 1.
I know that the original Battlefronts were based off of, they're basically a reskin of Battlefield. I already am aware of that. But a lot of the stuff that was in Star Wars Battlefront 2, just as far as we know at this point, is not there. And if it is going to be in there, considering that this is EA and they're dirty, rotten, pig-stealing grandpas, they're going to nickel and dime everybody already. It doesn't even matter if Disney's keeping a close watch on them, because they can still try and make money, because Disney will make money too regardless. So if there is going to be like spaceship combat and whatnot, and I'm talking about actually being in space with the flight mechanics as they are now, I don't think that's even going to work. Because from what I've watched game footage and I've seen some people talk about it, and the way that the flight works in this current, for the beta at least, the ships fly around in a circle. That's it.
Well, it's not so much in a circle. It's more of a thing of you're in an arena. You have a set limit to be in. But even with Battlefront 2, where there were space battles, it was still an arena. You had a set limit. Yeah,
of course there was a limit to the map and whatnot, and I get that, but it just seemed like, from what I could ascertain from people playing it and watching him going around, he was basically saying, like, Rogue Squadron, this is not. Of course, in Battlefront, I don't think the ships were anywhere close to Rogue Squadron style gameplay, but they were... No. Considering that I had a lot of fun in spaceship battles to begin with, well, for one, I'd have to get my hands on the new one to even remotely think about or to see how it would compare. I don't know if from just watching how the ships fly, and when I'm really not seeing any difference other than boosting forward and banking around in a circle and hoping that you can lock on to somebody. I don't know if that could just be the skill level of the players themselves, but, you know.
Well, it probably is the skill level of the players themselves, because when you look at the gameplay footage of the dogfight on there, it's essentially the Star Fox 64 multiplayer dogfighting style, and that was great.
I'd have to see more footage of it to be convinced otherwise, because right now I'm not convinced. But, I mean, the game still has time to prove me wrong, but I'm still not entirely bought. EA has a nasty habit of doing something idiotic, and even though Disney's watching them closely, doesn't mean that they still can't sneak something idiotic in just to line their pockets. That's the thing I'm more concerned about, is money-wise. That's the thing I'm the biggest concerned with. Gameplay and whatnot could be secondary in comparison to, like, am I going to get, like, nickel and dimed left and right for, like, an obscene amount of money just to play a game that I already have to pay $60 for.
Well, yeah, that definitely makes sense. But one thing I can also say is
the mobile port.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my main thing here, though, on that is
Hello?
expansions and stuff like that. Let's face it, that's in every game now. But when you think about it, it's not much different from, you know, let's look at the older days whenever it was a thing of, okay, I bought this game. I've done everything in it. I want more stuff. You didn't pay $5 or $10 for DLC. No, you paid about $60 for a whole nother game that just added a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's not really that big a deal, but at the same time, people are getting tired of it.
Yeah, I think that's it's fatigue of it. It's not that people aren't willing to pay, it's the fact that they're tired of paying. If it's worth the money, people are going to buy it. If it's not worth the money, everybody's going to be tired. It's like, oh, not this old shtick again. Why do we have to do this again and again and again?
Yeah, and at that point, it's up to the consumer whether or not they want to buy it. You know, they can look at the previews for it from other people playing it and go, oh, yeah, I want to buy that. Or, you know what, that's not my cup of tea. And then they don't have to buy it. Yeah. They can just enjoy the vanilla.
Or they can wait until the game is, you know, used and then just buy it that way. Save some money.
Speaking of which, can I just say I am glad online passes are done with?
Yeah, that was, I mean, can I share my 2 cents on this?
Go ahead.
Well, unless you guys already know, Battlefront's going to launch with a $50 season pass for all of its DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know why they're doing this. They have to combat. They have to make back some kind of revenue.
They're trying to prevent piracy. Yeah.
There's a piracy issue too, especially if you do it on PC. This is one thing I like that Fallout 4 did. Is that half the game on PC is downloaded through Steam.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to do it that way. I mean, you could steal it, but stealing games can be hard, but we won't get into that right now. But
no. I think we talked about pirating I can't remember which episode it was. It might have been like one of the first ones that we did when Magnus Supreme was here and whatnot. But if people are dedicated enough, pirating is going to happen regardless of what the companies do.
You can't stop it. That's
they can't.
You know, that was a really bad system. I'm also glad it's gone. Some games still have it, unfortunately, and a lot of games have since removed it.
Yeah. I was about to say something. The problem I think with this particular season pass for Battlefront, at least initially, I don't know if it's changed, but I know that the initial response for some people, especially on YouTube, was like, what the heck is this? Because they weren't telling anybody anything about what was coming or like what was going to be available. I don't know if that has changed. I mean, if you guys have more current information, I'd be more than happy to hear it. But right now, $50 for a season pass with that, nobody knows what we're getting.
Well, one thing I can say is right now everyone sounds like robots again. Sexy time.
Yes.
Jazz hands.
Another connection thing. But what was I saying about Battlefront? Another thing that I like to think of is that this Battlefront wasn't even going to get made unless another company picked it up. Obviously, you know, the test footage for Battlefront 3 was released.
Yeah.
But I guess they couldn't get the funding and there was problems. And I mean, the whole reason that Disney acquired Lucasfilm and LucasArts is because, especially with LucasArts, they were going through financial hell.
Yeah.
Marvel was acquired because it was
going through financial hell.
Yeah, exactly. It went to financial hell. Unfortunately, this led to games like Star Wars 1313 getting canceled.
Which is a sad day for everyone.
It'll happen. Things like this happen when different companies get involved in stuff and business deals and stuff. So I understand it. As much as disappointed as I am, I understand.
I was really looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, it was going to be the first M-rated Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it later down the line. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, but for right now, no.
We don't know. I was going to get to be a bounty hunter again. I liked being the bounty hunter.
Heck,
I like being a rogue.
I consider this Battlefront to be more of a spiritual success.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do.
Because you're not only, is this
oh, there goes the connection.
But of course it's going to incorporate elements from Battlefield. I mean, DICE is developing it. They're doing what they know will work. And obviously this is bridging two audiences. You have the whole Battlefield market, and then you have the Battlefront market. So it's marketing genius right there to do this. And from what I've seen, them keeping the movie effects in there, I don't mind that they stuck with the original trilogy in terms of content. I mean, sure, whatever. Most people hate the prequels. I don't really see a problem with them because I find Star Wars as a whole pretty ridiculous, though entertaining.
Thank you.
Let's think about it. I agree with you. I mean, the whole thing is about between light side and dark side. That's as cliche as you get.
Yep.
Yeah, it really is. Literally, Star Wars is defined as a space opera. It is meant to be a little outrageous and ridiculous, but people take it way too seriously, and they're like, the prequels were garbage. Like, listen, no Star Wars movie is in terms of films on their own. Are they entertaining? Yes. That doesn't mean they have to be masterpieces.
Nope.
They did a lot for the film industry, I will say, especially when 77 when it launched. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
But in terms of writing and whatnot, come on. It's sci-fi space opera. But anyway.
Yeah. Well,
this game looks good. I know EA has done some shady things in terms of money. All companies are out to make money.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can see what Konami has been doing.
Yeah. Because
of their new leadership.
No one's happy about that either.
Yeah, exactly. So I honestly think Battlefront will do fine. Obviously, there's going to be some people who like you that don't really care for it, and that's totally fine. You're entitled to your opinion on it.
Yeah. I might play it somewhere down the line, but
I would say just give it a chance. I would say if you do decide to buy it used. If you really like the developer, I mean, you're kind of against EA. EA is the publisher, not the developer.
Yeah.
So if you want to support DICE, obviously, just get the season pass.
Yeah.
But like for instance, like many other people today, due to a delay, just got Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And I don't like the way they handle the dialogue system because it's so akin to Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I've been playing Fallout since I was a kid on my old IBM computer. So I know I'm not just speaking from Fallout 3 experience, but I can let that go. I'm like, you know what? You have to make some changes to progress forward. Otherwise, if Battlefront was the same as Battlefront 2,
Yeah.
And people would be complaining, oh, it's just the same game. They just made it look better. It's like some changes have to be done because some new ideas can be incorporated and it would work. Yeah, I'm going to miss the space battles too, but maybe this new arena style thing, akin to so much of Battlefield, will work better. You never know. So let's just see when the game launches, see how it does. But at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. My dad loves to say this, and I'll make it PG. Everybody in the world has a butt. They're like opinions, and they all stink.
Oh, God.
So to each their own on that, and that's my input on that.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yep.
I think the only other thing, I'm not even going to discuss EA because this was supposed to be about Spider-Man games not being developed for the foreseeable future. And
it did develop into a bit of a tangent, but it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah. That's how good podcast work. They, it's just thing of keep on going. Segue Steve, as Jacksepticeye would say.
Yeah, let's go Segue Steve. Well, actually, there was one more thing in Star Wars Battlefront that I don't know if this is going. It looks like it works, but I'm not sure how I feel about it, because this has gotten to a point in a lot of video games where, basically being skilled or being good at the game is irrelevant, and now it's all based either on sheer luck or on your. How much money you put into the game, which I find idiotic.
That's a serious problem that needs to change. There should not be a pay-to-win system for a $60 retail game. That needs to stop.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more or less the problem with the power-up system that they've implemented for Star Wars Battlefront. Instead of it being like the, Star Wars Battlefront 2, where if you wanted a hero unit, you had to, succeed in combat. You had to you had to kill a set amount of enemies. Then you got the ability to turn into like Darth Vader, Mace Windu, whoever, whatever particular individual you wanted. That was your hero unit for the map. And then you had him for a set amount of time, and you got to, feel virtually indestructible first, like maybe for a few minutes, and then after that it went away, and then you had to do it again. With the new system, everything is a random, or well, not random drop. They're spawned in at certain points on the map, and everybody has to run for them.
Well, actually, I have a counter argument for this. The hero thing is actually designated to a player based on RNG. Yes, however, this is actually a good thing. Because before it was a thing of the most skilled players would always get it, and people who wanted to play as, let's say, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker would never get the chance.
Yeah.
So now this makes it more accessible for everyone, so everyone can have a fun time doing it. That's why the hero thing is a good thing, and vehicles and stuff being placed on the map and people running for them. That's fine. That's sort of how it was with Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be in an X-Wing or an A-Wing, you had to run for whichever one you wanted.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you might get stuck with the Y-Wing, which was slow and horrible in the dogfight.
Yeah, the vehicle thing I can see and understand that. And I guess you make a valid point for the hero thing, too. If I was to be in a room with a bunch of skilled players, I'd never have an opportunity to play as Vader or anything, but...
And you'd want to force choke the people who got to play him.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it, but also at the same time, all the power-ups being that way, I don't know if I understand that, because power boosts and whatnot are also a thing. To improve, like, the power of your rifle and whatnot. It's like, I don't know. Is that fair? Or is that good? I don't know.
Hold it! That has been in since Battlefront 1. You would run around, you'd find these power-ups that were either red or blue orbs, and that's what would power up your rifle and stuff. That has been there from the beginning, man.
You could also get power-ups by killing multiple enemies, too.
Agreed, and that's probably still going to be in it, too.
Yeah, I hope so. Because if you're, like, on a win streak and whatnot, it would be nice to have some sense of, like, oh, hey, look, I'm accomplishing something. Hey, look, I'm now more powerful and more dangerous to everybody else.
Yeah, and a way I think they did this that made it more balanced was you only have one main weapon that you go into battle with. You don't switch between secondary and main. It's just one. So you have to choose whenever you're doing your loadout, as to what role you're going to perform. which means that it's more balanced, and your weapons will be powered up based off of the stuff you put on them, before the match, from, like your modules that you may get from leveling up, which I believe are in there, because I think you can start getting those at rank 2.
Yeah.
But then there's also the on-field power-ups you can get that make it, evenly balanced for the new players who just start in going, oh, I don't have this weapon as powered up as the other person does. Oh, I found this power-up on the map. Sweet, now I can take them on. Suck it!
I guess that makes sense. It's a good point. I don't know. I will probably miss the class system, too. I liked having a class system, but if we just make...
Sorry, go ahead.
If we just, people can just make a loadout that basically would represent the class system, I guess that would work. Though, from what I've seen, not so much, with weapons like the rocket launcher or this, what looked like some sort of grenade launcher, I think that one seemed to be a bit close to, having, a heavy unit and whatnot. But for the sniper rifle, or because you can have it as a card and an option, you get one shot, and then you have to wait, I don't know what the reload speed is.
Yeah,
it's
the cooldown timer.
The cooldown timer, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, for certain weapons it makes sense, I guess even to the sniper rifle, but you only get one shot. With the rocket, I think you get 2. Do you get 2, or do you just get 1? I don't know.
I think you get 1, possibly 2 with the rocket launcher. But at the same time, that's shooting out a bomb that's going to explode whenever it comes on impact, not using a highly focused laser that's coming out and superheating the barrel.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how I feel about it. I think that's going to put someone like myself, who's not normally very good at sniping, if I decided to goof around with that, I'd be at a severe disadvantage.
I think that would just give people more time to learn with it. Hey, these shots count. You can't just you'll have people who play. I know Call of Duty is such an easy scapegoat to go back to, but anyway, you'll have people who play a lot of games like that, even Counter-Strike, and you'll have people just basically machine gunning with a sniper rifle. So having the one shot with the cooldown will say hey, you better get into a position, perch down, take your shot, and make it count.
Okay.
Yep, because let's face it, people who say camping sniper as an insult are morons, because that's what snipers do. They camp.
Yeah, you get to a vantage point, mark your targets, and make sure your hits are accurate. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Did you have something to say, Megazord?
No, I am just in agreeance of
the proverbial yes man has returned.
Okay, sheep.
I have opinions on these things,
and they don't matter. You can go now.
Okay, you have opinions. Here's something I want your opinion on. Should Bandai Namco and Firaxis make a Gundam game that's a strategy game based off of the XCOM engine?
Ooh, I would like
that's interesting.
The turn-based stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
I want it. Give it to me. I want that.
That'd be awesome.
I'll pay you. I'll even pay you probably a little bit more than what it costs. Normally, I'll give you 80.
That's a good idea.
I think it fit really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my thought on... Go ahead.
Considering Gundam as a fandom is a pretty niche thing, especially over in the West. But if we're talking... I mean, it would sell anyway in Japan regardless. But I think that would work. Because there's not a demand for Gundam to be like any one specific thing. And I mean... I'm not even sure, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if there ever was a Gundam first-person shooter.
There was.
Operation Troy. It was able to be third-person or first-person, and it was on the Xbox 360 in Japan only.
I do remember that. Thank you. I remember reading something about it. But, Gundam's always been like third-person action or the fighting games or the simulators and stuff like that. So a turn-based... Yeah, that if implemented properly, that...
Yeah, that could definitely work and work well.
And yes, there is the Super Robot Wars already, which is a turn-based strategy thing that has mobile suits from the Gundam series, but they also have other mobile suits. I mean, like purely Gundam, and make it in any century they want. Because let's face it, whenever you recruit soldiers in XCOM, if they die, they're gone for good, and so is their weaponry if you're using the Long War mod for obvious reasons. The mobile suits would essentially be the weaponry, and you put the pilots in there, and if your pilot dies, that mobile suit's gone as well. So you have to really plan out your strategy as to what you want to do.
Yep. I think it's an interesting idea. Hey, somebody, send this idea to Namco Bandai and then say that this podcast came up with it first.
Or we can just do it.
If I had the skill...
Ooh, that would be quite the undertaking.
No, I mean, just contact them. Just be like, hey, this is money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant actually develop the game. I'll download my Steam game maker and I'll get right on it.
I don't have enough pizza, burritos, and time to do that. Somehow those things help me think.
Yeah, I don't know if I probably would have had that kind of time, but I need a team behind me. I'm not doing it by myself. I don't want to do it by myself. I'd lose my mind, and then I wouldn't have any time for, well, basically general life.
Hey, that's what Kickstarter's for. Set up some rewards so people do the work for you.
There you go.
Yep, and then pay people to do the programming, because that stuff gives a massive headache.
I can't program. I could do story and whatnot, and character design and whatnot, but I don't know if I could do anything else. I need some more technical coders and whatnot. Although
I will actually tell you guys a very, very upsetting story about something that involved Kickstarter with a series that I really like.
Okay.
I was always a fan, especially as a kid, of the Godzilla fighting games.
Yes.
Like Godzilla Save the Earth being like phenomenal. I mean, that's one of the reasons I modded an original Xbox so I could still play that game even now. That game is awesome.
Yes.
So I guess after Godzilla Unleashed came out, the development team went their own ways. But this guy who worked on the games from way back when said, hey, let's make another kaiju-based arena fighting game like those Godzilla games. Mm-hmm. And people were like, oh, this is cool. And one of the things that they got was, hey, at any time you could submit artwork of your own kaiju, and if we like it, we'll actually put it into the game.
Oh.
So that went on for a while, and this game was supposed to be out, I think, 3 years ago.
Oh.
And I saw, what do you call it, whatever demo they had of it running.
Yeah.
And they turned all the kaiju, these super, monstrous-looking kaiju, into these chibi little things fighting in a cartoonish little arena.
Oh,
Looks nothing like the artwork they promised. The game is full of bugs. It's bare bones. Alternate costumes just count as palette swaps.
Oh, boy.
So this guy messed up. You guys can look it up if you want. It was called Colossal Kaiju Combat. And then you can go and compare it
the
original Godzilla games, and it looks like garbage.
Colossal Kaiju Combat. Just the name alone.
He really likes, what is that? Alliteration. That's the thing. The creator really loves alliteration. It's like what, Stan Lee did for a good majority of, his characters and whatnot. It's all like Spider-Man's real name, Peter Parker.
Right.
Here's my question, though. Did he at least spell colossal and combat with a C?
Aha, yes.
He did.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
Otherwise, he'd be making KKK the game.
Now, listen, I'm not against that, but...
These monsters are white.
I kid.
I'm so triggered right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. So, all right, look at the other example. Mighty Number 9. How long has that been delayed?
Oh, yeah.
Too long?
Now you got the guy who worked on Symphony of the Night releasing another game. And, I hope that goes well. I mean, not every Kickstarter game that's coming out is going to be the next Shovel Knight.
Yeah. Shovel
Knight got really lucky and it was like, wow, this is actually really good. That's a good Kickstarter success story. But unfortunately, Kickstarter is full of scammers. It's just...
Yeah.
I believe there needs to be a better way to get ideas funded other than Kickstarter, because obviously the system, for the majority-wise, isn't working.
I think that Square Enix had a... they've been coming up with a good idea. They've been asking for people to submit ideas and games and whatnot. And then what they do is they put it on a more personal page of theirs and say, okay, tell us, basically to the general audience of Square Enix, which of these games sound good to you? Do you want this one? They'll like give you a laundry list. It's like, would you be interested in this game? And if so, here's the page. Go, I think that you can help fund it. I don't know if it's a funding thing or if it's just basically, it's like, how interested are you in this? And if you're really interested, we're going to help these people make it happen.
Exactly. At least they're not doing what Sony did with Shenmue.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the scummiest thing I've ever seen. And E3, like, oh, hey, Shenmue 3. Now, listen, I have not played any of the Shenmue, so I am not speaking as a fan. I'm speaking as a consumer.
Yeah.
You should bring on the guy who made it. Get everyone psyched up. Show, like, hey, Shenmue 3, you're showing the logo. PlayStation's behind you. Awesome. Hey, give to Kickstarter. Give it. It got the money it reached, like, because they set 3 different goals. It reached all of them from what my memory serves is correct. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Like, their excuse was, oh, we need to know the demand is there. Of course the demand is there. One, you're asking for way too much money for this. Shenmue is, it has a following. It's not super popular.
Yeah.
Here's how you show if their demand is there. Take Shenmue 1 and 2. Upscale them a little bit. Re-release them, even if you have to do it digitally.
Yep.
If the demand is there and people will buy them, which Shenmue fans would, be like, oh, because they've been asking for an HD update of the first 2, then be like, okay, we're going to do Shenmue 3. You market that game the right way, it's going to sell like crazy. There are plenty of games who have come out the first time that no one's ever heard about, and they were marketed the right way, and they sold like crazy, even if they were bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no excuse for you to go out on E3 and say, hey, look at this great game you guys are wanted. Yeah, now give us money. No, you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Fund it yourself.
You have the money. Yeah. You have the power.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
No, you need to go to people and be like, oh, we just want to make sure you guys are interested. No. Don't do that. That was such a slimy thing to do.
Yeah.
I agree.
I wasn't sure how I felt on that one. I was just like, really? Why? Okay. I've heard plenty of people talk about it, but I have no general thought on it except for that. I would probably agree with you, Sinanju. That's very, very low and very shady of Sony to do that.
Yeah, that's like if Sunrise came out and just bring this back to Gundam. It was like, hey, we got a Crossbone Gundam. We're actually going to make it into an OVA series, and this is a little bit of test footage. Now, give us some money on Kickstarter, or we won't make it for you. Yeah, it's the same principle. It's just like you have. Like, I'm actually getting really flustered at this.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from there, man. Though I will say with Sunrise, they are a little bit more worse for wear money-wise because the anime industry for, Sunrise Entertainment hasn't been doing as well here lately.
Yeah.
But Sony, my God.
Right. Yeah. Okay, everyone, prepare for probably a very large rant and tangent from Rabbit because he's had us a lot of things to say about Sony.
Well, first off, let me say I love the hardware. I love the hardware to death. It is great. The CEOs are garbage.
Yep.
They are thieves. They have stolen from nameless amounts of companies. Countless amounts of companies. I mean, we know that Nintendo is one of them because, obviously PlayStation, it's a thing of, okay, y'all don't want to do this, go ahead and have that then. We're sorry, we're going to go with the CDI. That was a mutual thing. But after that, Sony wasn't solid with that. They said, okay, we're going to get some revenge. So whenever the Nintendo 64 came out with an analog stick, what suddenly happened on the PlayStation controller? 2 analog sticks. Then suddenly, we're gonna add a memory card function to our controllers. What happens on the PlayStation? Granted, it did already have a memory card function, but it was small. And whenever the memory card function was shown to be larger for the N64, I'm like, now we're holding megabytes. And then the Rumble Pack feature that was on the Nintendo 64 first and foremost directly stolen about a month later by Sony and put into the new DualShock controller. And then, of course, the most painfully obvious one, PlayStation Move.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty blatant.
Yeah. And then it doesn't even stop there. Sony has been stealing from people within the past month because of YouTube Red coming out. They didn't want people watching videos that had anything dealing with the content at all, even if it was only 10 to 30 seconds of their content in it. They would go ahead and block it worldwide, because on YouTube Red, for the first 30-day trial of YouTube Red that everybody had, the people who owned the content, weren't getting as much money from ad revenue.
Yeah.
And that affects you because you have a gamer channel and they could be monetizing your content.
Exactly. They actually tried to monetize my content for my final episode of Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z, which, yes, I actually did play through that entire game and loved it all the way through. But
yeah,
they tried to monetize it because they actually own a portion of Lionsgate Entertainment. They had that branch go and try to say match party content, third-party match content. I disputed it because in that video, I let the credits run through the entire video, and Lionsgate Entertainment was nowhere mentioned. Oh. And that's the only reason I was able to get it unblocked worldwide. But they've been stealing things like, I'm going to say this now, one thing is Vocaloid. That's Sega's IP. Sony doesn't own anything except for the consoles that it's been hosted on.
Yeah.
And they've been blocking Vocaloid videos left and right for people, which I know has gotten a lot of people up in arms. And they do it under these different names that doesn't say Sony Entertainment directly. It's under these other subsidized company names. And I did my research before I came up with this, because I want to make sure that I was right. And I checked and said, okay, who is this company a subsidiary for? And eventually the one that they all led back to was Sony. So Sony has been, and even things that were made by the thing like the standard Vocaloid stuff that's on computer, where people, they go ahead and make their own custom songs with it, that Sega doesn't own and Sony doesn't own at all. They've been blocking it and trying to say, oh no, this belongs to us.
Yep.
And have just been stealing things from people left and right. It's not cool, and Sony needs to stop. I mean, I love the hardware and stuff to death, but the CEOs just need to stop.
Yeah. Well, you also mentioned that they also were trying to flag people for the Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yeah, they were doing that too. They were doing that too, even though
Raise Your Flag.
It's madness. Sony needs to realize, even if they're not getting as much monetary stuff from, different things like that, they're still getting a little bit from it. It may not be as much as they're used to, but it's still something, and they shouldn't be trying to take things from other people. It's not cool.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm still fairly new to YouTube as well, but I think that from every content creator out there, they're kind of getting annoyed with how copyright works, and the laws for copyright are incredibly old. I don't know if I wouldn't say they're entirely dated, because I do believe in supporting the creators of of whatever it is. Yeah. Whether it's a game, whether it's a movie, TV show, I believe in supporting the official stuff. But also at the same time, when it comes to people who want to do reviews, who want to do Let's Plays, who want to do anything else that pertains to that content, when they get copyright claimed, when they get flagged, when they get anything from these bigger and major corporations, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to fight them, because they have a team of lawyers ready to go.
And they're going to bleed you out.
Yeah, and those guys will bleed you out. And even if you do fight them, which you can do, you'll be stuck in litigation, and also at the same time, they can make it so that the YouTube channel is pretty much closed down, so that you can't make any content anyway, especially if you're someone who's making a living off of it. So a lot of creators won't even fight back, me included, because I got copyright claims from Bandai and Saban for the intro I tried to cobble together for the podcast. So it's like, I'm not going to fight you guys because I'm afraid you're going to take the channel away, and then I have to make a new one. Yeah, and I got to start all over again.
Yeah, here's the one thing that needs to be done on YouTube to fix this problem. Yes, let people say, hey, this has some of our property in it, and let be able to be disputed stuff by the folks. But if it isn't disputed and if it's acknowledged, let the people who own the IP get some monetary gain from it, from that person's channel, but do not give these people permission to shut down or remove videos and channels.
Yeah.
That is taking away freedom of speech, for one, or freedom of the press even. And it's just a thing of, it's not cool because this is something someone else worked on, and there's always a 10% difference. And according to copyright law, as long as there is a 10% difference in a product, then it is considered someone's own unique variant, and can be shown or sold even. And
that counts as fair use.
Exactly.
As long as you're not taking someone's content verbatim, you are allowed to critique, review, or have commentary over something. That is totally 100% legal. But as we live in a capitalist society, it really just comes down to who has more money and the final say.
And unfortunately, that's the companies.
Yes. But as I said, the one thing YouTube can do to solve this is make it to where if someone wants a copyright claim, they can say, hey, they can go ahead and have a claim on that and get some monetary value from the video. That way, even if the video is saying, hey, don't get this game, they're getting some money from people watching that video. But just take away the ability to remove videos, block videos, or even destroy channels. Just take away that ability. Say, hey, you can get money from it, but you can't remove or block this.
Yeah.
Do that, and it will solve everything.
For music, it depends on which label it's with. But they're now, let's say, okay, you can use this music, but we're going to have ads, over the video. But they won't take your video down like they used to for any and all music copyright infringement.
Yeah.
So if they could do the same thing for if you're using certain content, maybe they can add some extra ads there.
Yeah.
But as opposed to just taking your video down.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's another thing I wanted to talk about. It's a little different, but it involves DC's TV shows that are sort of out, but it pertains to Netflix and Hulu and how they might not be on Netflix or Hulu for several years because now DC has decided that they're taking it in a different direction. They're deciding that considering that, not DC, but since Warner Brothers owns HBO and HBO Go, I guess now they're deciding that they're going to move the platform to there so that Warner Brothers can make more money.
It's going to bite them in the butt.
It probably will. That probably will.
I don't see that going over well.
No.
Yeah, they're already getting their shows posted for free on things like Hulu and Netflix, and they're getting ad revenue from it and all that.
Yeah.
If they try to make it their own thing, it's just going to cause problems, and they're going to lose money.
Well, unless we get super huge quality upgrade, if Arrow is no longer a soap opera with a lot of girl drama, if we get Game of Thrones quality Arrow or Flash, then maybe it'd work. I mean, there's Sesame Street at HBO now. I don't know how that's going, but
well, the one thing they're not saying that the shows won't make it to Netflix or Hulu. What the plan sounds like is that right now currently we're at the second season of The Flash. And let's say, because normally by the time the next season rolls around, normally how Netflix works, season 2 should come up by the time season 3 of Flash starts. Because that's how I got to watch season 1 of Flash. How this new model would work for places like Netflix and Hulu, we wait 2 years. Instead of 1. It would be a 2-year gap. In other words, by the time season 4 would be starting, you'd get to see season 2.
So they're just encouraging more torrenting of shows.
Yeah, that's the downside that's going to happen. I mean, it's their own intellectual properties. Yeah, it's the old saying: just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. Also, the other model: if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Here we go. Yeah, I just wanted to mention it. It was one of those weird things. I'm like, why would you do this? I wait long enough to see these shows. I don't want to have to wait another year. At that rate, I might as well buy the DVD. Which, for most companies, they don't see any of that money.
No, they don't.
No.
You might get lucky and be able to buy them digitally right through their website, so they get almost entirely all of the revenue. But
if I buy it on DVD, they get nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So, or I think, you can buy a lot of shows through iTunes. I'm not sure if all of them are iTunes or Amazon or something like that. I know you can buy like full seasons of Arrow and the Flash on Amazon. So
yeah,
it really just comes down to what's readily available. But
yeah, I am curious to see what direction Green Arrow is going, because now they're going to actually start calling it Green Arrow. I don't know if they're starting back from just like saying this is season 1. I know it's supposed to be a continuation with the same actors and whatnot. I know that, or at least from what I've heard. But now all of a sudden, because The Flash was such a huge success and he wore the costume, he actually was The Flash. Now it's okay for Oliver to be known as the Green Arrow. Now it's okay.
I actually can see where this is going, though, because Arrow seemed more like a backstory saga.
Yeah.
Whereas, Green Arrow would be, okay, the backstory is complete. Let's go with the main story now.
Yeah.
Please.
So let's all be honest. Let's all be honest here. Gotham is the best DC show on TV right now.
Yes, I do agree with this.
I'd like to make argument for The Flash, but I do watch Gotham as well, so...
I have not watched any of these, so I have no input.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Synergy, let me just put it this way. Gotham does not follow Batman. It follows Commissioner Gordon starting off as a rookie detective.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I saw him.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's very dark and gritty. Very detective-driven, or cop-driven. It's more of a cop drama. Yeah. But also leaving little tiny shout-outs and nods of other characters, though I don't know how I feel about some of the direction for some of the villains.
You mean like the Riddler?
The Riddler I'm okay with. The way that they've been portraying him, especially in Season 2, I'm okay with. I'm also okay with how they've been handling Penguin, because I think those two are the best handled.
Yeah, and it's the best Penguin I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would actually fully agree. That's the best Penguin I have ever seen at this point. I have issue with how they're handling Joker. Although technically we haven't seen Joker at all, technically.
Yeah, we did.
Not really. That one kid isn't technically Joker.
Not yet.
He died.
Dun, dun, dun.
Spoilers! He's dead.
I don't know. I'm only on episode 5 of season 1, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm spoiling parts of season 2. Oh no.
It's okay. It's Batman. I don't know if there's a whole lot to be spoiled.
Well, the way that they were going about it is that I don't know if the one kid who basically, obviously in season 1, who was kind of the first hint at the Joker. I don't know if you've seen that episode yet or not. I don't know what episode that was.
He has Jack Nicholson's grin.
Yeah, he has Jack Nicholson's grin.
Oh.
And also it involves a circus and whatnot, so they have that kid. And I mean, I liked the actor that they got for it, because it's like, okay, if this is the way they're going with like a Joker, or that this will be the possibility of a Joker in the foreseeable future, I'm okay with it, because this young actor looks very convincing. He looks better than Jared Leto right now in comparison for a Joker. He looks way better. I'm far more convinced of him than Jared Leto. And this guy doesn't even have the makeup on.
What?
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have the makeup on. He doesn't have green hair. He's
He's a kid.
He's just a young kid, red hair, crazy look in his eyes, a big smile on his face, and he doesn't really look like Joker until his inevitable death.
But does he really die, though? That's the main question.
Well, the way that they made it is that his biological father, who he hated to death, said that basically he would become a blight on the city.
He's right about that.
He would be like this disease, like a virus that would plague Gotham for the rest of its days. And what they showed in it is kind of similar to how they did the Red Hood episode in season 1. They show all these people seeing the footage of this young kid who just died, watching the footage of him, like, scaring people and, being a horrifying, like, psychopath. And oh, oops, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. I accidentally pressed the button on my mic. And they show all these people, like, losing their proverbial minds and going crazy and having the same, like, sadistic smiles and laughing and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, goody, so we're going down the route of basically the Joker is a plague upon society.
Well, if you remember the first Batman movie, he did have that gas that made everyone get those giant grins, and some people did go insane.
Yeah.
But they all died.
Eventually, yes.
They don't live through Joker Toxin. Joker Toxin is a permanent fixture. The way that Joker Toxin is supposed to work in comics and in all other formats is once you get that, you're pretty much dead unless you have an antidote. Which is why why Joker is constantly updating it so that he can fight Batman with the same toxins. Because he doesn't want he wants Batman to have the same grin on his face as him, but I don't know how I feel about that.
I know this isn't a Joker line, but I have to say it anyway. Put a smile on.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Oh, I guess. Well, he did say it like that in the movie. I guess I was thinking more Ronald McDonald.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. Everybody, come on, put a smile on.
Not sponsored by McDonald's.
Why so serious with a McDonald's picture on it?
I'm gonna go grab a cheeseburger and hate myself.
Okay.
But I didn't really like how they were handling that. But I did think that the Red Hood episode in season 1 was funny because basically the way that they were making it seem as though this hood had some sort of like magical property. Like the people who wear it are lucky and they don't die. But it inevitably drives them crazy and it inevitably leads to their own downfall because everybody in the entire gang that started wearing that hood start dying off in one format or another. They either kill each other or get gunned down by police.
So they took a note from Gundam Epion.
Apparently. I don't know.
I had a really good joke lined up. Then I remember this is a PG podcast, and I was telling myself, like, just keep it inside. Just keep it inside. Another time.
Do it.
No.
Listen to the devil on your shoulder. You know it speaks true.
Shut up and eat the burger I got.
Actually, I'm going to talk about this just for a little bit, and then I'll get to actually the only other topic I had. I don't know if we'll get to it or not, but I recently read the newest issue of Spider-Man 2099, and I want to get this off my chest on the podcast opposed to doing it in a separate video, because I'm lazy, and I don't care. And it's... the comic book itself is okay. I only have the one complaint, which is that Peter is in the book. And normally I'd be okay with that because we got Spider-Man 2099 in the present. And he's working for Parker Industries. I'm like, okay, fine. He's the guy. He's the new developer. He's the new research and development guy. Miguel gets to make all the fun toys I guess is the way. And, you know, and he's basically hung up the proverbial tights. He's moving on. He's trying to save the future and basically just, you know, work and have a lovely girlfriend. And yeah, well, it was funny. He decided to do like American Ninja Warrior for fun, and it was hilarious. And everyone's like, he has no prior training. He has no background in any form of gymnastics or anything. How is this newcomer going to do? And he breezes through the entire course without any trouble because of spider powers. And it's hilarious. And everyone's like, okay, now this guy gets to go to Japan and go face off on that particular course. It's like, and he's like, yeah, this was fun. And it's like, yeah, my girlfriend thought this would be entertaining. And she was right. I had a blast.
Yep.
And then
Go ahead.
And then the next day, his boss calls, Mr. Parker. And he basically is the biggest douchebag boss I think I've ever seen in a comic book. And I thought Tony Stark was bad with his behavior. Or, you know, like maybe Reed Richards with his eccentric behaviors, but it's like, good God, Peter, what is wrong with you? Take the damn tie off, go down and, I don't know, go get a beer or something, calm down. He was like trying to be the boss and the father of Miguel all in one. It's like, this girlfriend of yours is a bad influence on you, stop seeing her. It's like, why does he have to listen to you?
That was a very good point there.
The king of failed relationships. Yeah, he doesn't have to take anything from you. What the hell?
I just had a flashback to a really old meme I saw where it was a scene from the 1960s Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it was Spider-Man handing Jameson a pen and paper, and he's just like, for the last time, Spider-Man, I'm not Hitler. Stop trying to get me to sign autographs.
Yeah, speaking of memes, whenever you were talking about him doing this whole thing and getting go to Japan for this whole thing, I was hoping you were going to say he was going to run up and we heard someone go, "Bone saw is ready."
That would be funny.
Yeah, though I will say, in Peter's defense, in those Spider-Man comics, he has seen some crap by that point. He has a right to be cynical.
To an extent, I think so, but I've lost any and all format of respect for him and the creative team behind him. I already did the video on it, but I'm thinking of like maybe retooling and doing it again and doing the top 5 reasons why I don't like the modern Spider-Man. And I was just gonna go through all the entire reasons why, be far more concise and be more precise on the reasons why I don't like him anymore. And one of my biggest problems with him is that he's supposed to be the everyman. He's supposed to be someone that anybody can relate to. And with the way the direction that he is now, that's gone. That's out the door, and it went like 100 miles into the ocean and drowned. Because it doesn't exist anymore with the way that they're writing it. With him owning an entire company, a conglomerate of worldwide scale, and they have the audacity, I'm literally saying this, they have the audacity to say he's still broke. And this is a guy who bought the flippin' Baxter building 3 issues in to make it a subsidiary of Parker Industries.
They're trying to keep the underdog going, even if it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, Dan Slott. He's not an underdog anymore.
Let's see. He's running a corporation, but he's still broke. Man, Spider-Man's got to be getting some good drugs.
I was just about to say, yeah, exactly.
He must be high as a flipping kite at this point. Go ahead. Hello?
Hello?
I don't know if everybody went quiet all of a sudden. Signal might have cut out a bit. What did you say, Megazord? Oh boy. Are you there? Is everybody there?
I'm here. We're all robots.
We are all machines. Robots in disguise. That was actually pretty good.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Good job.
Oh, nice.
I can also do the Predator voice.
That is very good. Very
Sound
nice.
clip saved for ringtone.
Okay, yeah, Megazord, you were going to say something, weren't you? Or was it someone else?
Oh, no, I just followed up with what Sananji said. I said, yeah, there'd be some serious advice going on.
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just... I mean, this is, I think, the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back at this point. I think I already mentioned that before, but I have other reasons why I not like it. But still, it's like, on what planet does a guy who gets to build his own car, who gets to hire employees, who gets to do all this amazing stuff globally, when is he broke? I mean, yeah, he probably's got, like, all his CEOs and whatnot, and they probably have the bulk of the money, but it's like, are you saying that he doesn't get a paycheck at the end of the day? If that's the case, that means that he has no home. Spider-Man is homeless, guys. He has no home. Go support poor Spider-Man. Put him on Kickstarter, quick. The poor man needs money. Uh-oh. Because I don't get it at all. It's like, of course, Dan Slott at this point has probably completely run out of ideas anyway, and he's just like grasping at freaking straws. He's like, I don't know where to take this character. Why won't they take it off my hands? There's only so much one creator can do with a comic book before they have to say, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to close that proverbial chapter in my life and go to another book.
Yeah, but then you have like whoever owns the license to it, like, hey, we kind of need money. Come on,
Right.
come on, it's capitalist society, man. We're gonna keep poking stick. Write something else, but don't write that, and don't draw that cover, especially in that kind of pose. We can't have that.
Oh,
don't have the fucker doing that.
Can we talk about that? I do have something to say about that. I know that it's an older topic, but I do wish to talk about it because as someone who draws as a hobby and who would like to consider himself artistic in nature, can I just say, everybody who hates variant covers, go shut up and go dig a ditch.
Yeah.
I seriously want to say that to anybody and everybody who's ever said that or sees that. Oh, this cover is offensive. Here, let me just put a picture up of an offensive cover. Is this offensive? Okay, sure. Fine. It's a variant cover. You could go buy the normal one.
Yeah, that is true. But at the same time, I have to say, I miss our audience. We lost them at that last bit there.
Did we lose our audience?
I also think we lost them a lot when we were talking like robots.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they enjoy the Transformers, you know? Who knows?
I don't know. Let's see what you say. What do you think, Soundwave?
I can't do a Soundwave's voice. I'm trying. I can't do it, but I tried.
I can't do it. I would need like a reverberating like voice modulator that makes it sound like I'm a machine.
Like this?
Soundwave superior.
There you go.
There we go.
That was perfect.
Yes. I swear, you being able to do that voice is amazing. It's almost like you didn't do it at all.
It is amazing.
I know, that's just like the magic of my great voice, and I'm so glad that you recognize it. You should be like giving me money on my Patreon.
I was gonna say, like, you know,
where can I support this?
Job right now.
Where can I support this fantastic creator? Please send your money to this forwarding address.
I've been hurt and triggered by your negative opinions. Please send me money. Here is my Patreon. As much as I'd rather talk about issues like that, I tend not to, just to keep a neutral ground. I'd have to start my own podcast if I was going to talk about political things and social idiosyncrasies like that. I'll just leave that out.
Social idiot is probably the correct word.
Yeah, pretty much the only political thing that can really be said is the government done screwed up. And that's the only thing everyone can agree on.
Not only did the government screw up, but also the parents screwed up too somewhere down the line. What has happened to society? We need to go back to the good old days where our parents, discipline their kids properly and put them in timeout.
Oh gosh!
Boy, that's a
now the audience left.
Now the audience is gone. Okay,
10% of our audience is now gone.
What 10%?
Please come back. Not all of us have that opinion. We love you. Come back. We'll give you money.
I'm not giving them a dime.
Give us money. Give us money through Patreon right now.
We're not asking for much. Just $1,500. That's all we want.
That's our goal. $1,500.
15.
Yeah, and while we're at it, let's also complain about the schools. I mean, they don't even have penis inspection day anymore. You guys are laughing like you didn't have it.
Oh, I'm fully aware that there were physicals that had to take place.
Yeah. So I will say, seriously, though, when it comes to the schools, it's way too hard for people anymore because 70% of students drop out and 10% of students commit suicide now. So it's way too hard. They need to lower the standards and get back to where it used to be.
Yeah.
I'm
a high school dropout. I'm proud of it. I don't care. I left at ninth grade. I was there for a few months. I said, screw this, and left. I immediately got a good job, and now I'm a parts machinist. So there you go. You don't always
mental high five there, man. Oh, son of a... Oh, that was my eye, my only good eye. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, God.
Quick, let's give him money through Patreon.
Oh, my God. This podcast is completely deteriorated.
Yeah, if it only
the quality is falling. The world is ending.
Oh, man.
Colony Nora has already fallen, guys. Everybody's dead. GG.
Yeah, we definitely need to get more viewers in on this podcast. We need to network this thing out. This is getting ridiculous. Yes. We must share this with the world.
Well, actually, I was thinking of doing something like that. Well, actually, I have no idea. I can't market. I'm not a marketing professional. I need someone to do my marketing.
Dude, you can just do it through Facebook. It's easy. Just make a group page. Invite all your friends to like it. You'll get a certain amount of likes, and then for a small little amount of money, you can start promoting it. It'll start coming up in people's newsfeed. Then they'll like it. Always have links to your YouTube videos and such, and that's how you get your word out.
Well, I do have a page already.
Yeah, and if you want to do even more than that, you have not only a Facebook page that you invite all your friends to, you have a Tumblr page, and you have a Twitter, because those are the main three things people are on.
I'm gonna be on. I have Twitter. And I put it in the description of every video.
I think especially for this type of podcast, Tumblr would be a good idea.
I don't know if I want to put it on Tumblr. I'm scared of Tumblr already.
Tumblr is kind of scary.
I'm already scared of Tumblr.
There's some interesting people.
There's a bunch of social idiots on Tumblr, and I'm scared of them.
Quick, you've offended the Tumblr rights. We need to give them money through Patreon.
Fund us through Patreon. We're all poor, sad, depressed people who are we're like full-blown victims and everything. We need your help.
Yeah, let me take another drink of my caffeine here. That'll help calm this down, I swear.
I think right now I should be we're playing a song on the world's smallest violin right now.
Can we put the Benny Hill music in the back?
I don't know. I don't know if it's copyrighted or not.
And I'm going to take a little sip of my adult soda. Excuse me.
Okay, Megazord, I need you to play the world's smallest violin right now.
Wow, that sounded great.
That was fantastic. Perfect. 10 out of 10. That was the best performance you've ever given.
I have been working on my impression of a violin, and I'm going to say it still needs work.
It still needs work? Okay. All right. We'll be sure for the next podcast. Be ready for that. No. No. Just no. Okay. How are we doing for time? Holy crap.
Yeah, we're about
over 2 hours.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably a little bit under 2 hours because we started the call trying to get all the technical stuff worked out to begin with, but
yeah.
Yeah, so there's some technical difficulties. Rabbit, which part of the country do you live on?
I actually live in Mormon land.
Oh.
Utah.
He lives out in Utah.
It's beautiful, Utah.
I was originally Bountiful, just north of it, but I'm originally from Oklahoma, Broken Arrow, and I miss the warmth.
Oh, you poor soul. So you guys are on that Western time. See, I live in Connecticut, so I'm on the Eastern time. So all you guys are like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's like midnight here, and I have to go to work in the morning.
Okay.
I hate to be the party pooper, but if this is going to keep going on, I do have to get sleep. Otherwise, you don't want to fall asleep while you're a machinist. You'll end up with stainless steel in your face.
Okay. Go.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hashtag 5 Hour Energy.
Yeah,
Sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Sponsored.
Before that, I read an Amazon review. Please tell me if you guys will give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
I'll find this. And
Okay.
where is this? There we go. Okay.
It's been over 5 seconds. Do you owe us money now?
Yes, through Patreon.
This is the Patreon episode.
So apparently on Amazon, this review could be totally fake, but I have plenty of friends who kind of overdo it with caffeine. So I would not believe this is out of the ballpark. So this is what it is. It was an Amazon review for 5 Hour Energy shots. It's 2 out of 5 stars, and the tagline is moderation. Whatever you do not fill up a super big gulp cup with 5 Hour Energy and chug the whole thing. My heart has either stopped completely or is beating so fast that I can't feel my own pulse.
Oh my god.
The cons are, I haven't slept in 72 hours. I can't feel my face. I peed this morning, and I'm pretty sure it was 99% blood.
Oh my god.
The pros are, I've deep cleaned my entire apartment, and I think I can read minds.
Oh my god.
Here's the math of what I did. Super big gulp, 44 ounce, 5 Hour Energy, 2 ounce. That means I drank 22.5 5 Hour Energies in less than 2 minutes. God help me.
Okay, I need a moment.
That's the guy we owe money.
Yeah.
I need a moment.
Wow.
I need like 5 minutes.
Breathe, man. It's good for the brain.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, gosh.
Well, and I guess in that case, what's everyone's favorite mech? It doesn't have to be just mobile suits, just any mech whatsoever.
That was actually the next part of the podcast.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm a step ahead.
2 hours in, that was the next part.
We got so off tangent with Patreon crap.
2 hours in. Okay, now time for the real bread and butter of this.
Oh my gosh.
The other stuff was news related. It was only supposed to, I don't know how long it was supposed to last, maybe a half hour.
Oh my god.
Everybody went
Keep
so
going
off
up like
tangent.
this is going to be a mutiny, I swear.
I can't control you guys. Actually, I
Damn
wouldn't
right
want
you
to.
don't. I'm the alpha male.
Remember, I'm in charge of the podcast, and I can have you banned.
Don't worry, he really can't.
Speak heresy.
You speak heresy. You know, you weren't here initially, and you don't have to be here now.
Yeah, but you keep calling me.
That's true.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy. You're actually very entertaining. I would.
Yay!
Oh my.
Oh, cool. I don't have to cry myself to sleep tonight. Someone appreciates me.
I appreciate your very, very unique sense of humor. Though this is probably only about maybe what, the third time we've talked?
Perhaps
in
so.
a more personal manner.
I mean, I'm the one who did branch out to you, and I saw, I'm like, hey, I got to get in on this.
Yeah,
someone's got to listen to all the crazy shit that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah, you surpassed a lot of other people. There's a long waiting list. You would not believe how many people want to be on this podcast.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Oh. Well, now you're a liar.
I was joking. You were the first one to actually reach out and ask. So, well, aside from a few others, huh?
Am I the last, or did Rabbit reach out too?
Hey, I reached out before you had a podcast, man.
That's true. Actually, that is fairly true. He reached out along with some others before the podcast was even a thing, so. You were just one of the first ones who wasn't on the list of people.
Oh.
That's because I'm beautiful, right?
Yeah, you were just too beautiful to ignore.
I know, that's how I get into clubs and get free cigarettes.
Expect that booty call at 1 a.m.
Like, hey, see that guy over there? I know he's important.
That's
Why?
the real reason he needs to, get some rest. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to get punch drunk here. I'm also drinking an entire gallon of water, and I'm sure at some point it's going to come out the other way.
No. Well, it's up to you whenever you want to leave. I could.
Well, let's Rabbit propose a question. What's our favorite mechs? Shit, if I have to go first. Probably Shockwave from Transformers.
That is a good one.
I can get behind that. I like Shockwave.
Yeah, it's cool.
So does he count as a mech or a life form?
I think some kind of like composite. I mean, what would you consider? Well, the Terminator is like basically an android.
Yeah.
I guess I would consider Transformers as mechs. I mean, look at the Musha Gundams. They're alive.
Yep.
True.
But,
with personalities of their own.
Yeah, so I'd throw them in the category. This is Mechs of the Roundtable. We do have a Transformer member, so
he is not here, sadly. He can't be here. Please send Patreon to Magnus Supreme.
Yes, just do his Patreon to help him get back,
so that he can get back on the podcast. No, he's welcome back at any time. Okay.
I guess since I proposed the question, I'll go second. My favorite mech, it's actually a three-way tie between the RX-79G, also known as the ground gun from the Universal Century, the MBF-02 Astrays from the Seed, because I like the mass-produced Gundams. There's something cool about them, and thinking that the everyman, can pilot and be just as good as a new type or a coordinator.
Yeah.
And then Jehute from Zone of the Enders.
Ooh,
that's a good list. Those are good list. Good list. Okay, Megazord, your turn.
Okay. I don't know if this falls under the category MX, but does anyone remember the game One Must Fall?
I am unfamiliar with that.
It was One Must Fall 2097. You should Google it. That was like...
I'm afraid that it will drop frame rates.
Early 90s. And it was like a mech game. Essentially, you were a pilot, in a suit, right?
Yeah.
And it was a fighter game, sort of Street Fighter-esque. But, it ran on DOS.
Yeah.
But for its time, I thought it was like way ahead of its time. And I discovered it in like, I don't know, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think you can find it online for free now. But so you're not going to know what I'm talking about when I say Shadow and Katana.
Wolf, search them up and put up pictures on screen for everyone.
Yeah, make me have to look it up later.
Can I do that or just
just for whenever you post the video on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Send me the post. Send me images, and I'll throw them up on the screen somewhere.
Okay. And if he doesn't, eternal shame.
Eternal shame.
Yeah.
No.
Donate to your Patreon.
No.
But something that might be more familiar, mech wise, the original, I think it was Timberwolf.
Yes!
From Mech Warrior 2, that captured my imagination as a kid. I saw that and I was like, I have to play this game.
Yeah. I remember playing
It was just
Mech
like,
Warrior.
whoa. I mean, it looked awesome, you know?
Yeah.
Even looking at it now, it looks kind of silly and the balance isn't that great, but it was awesome. It was.
It was a multitude of the times and is still amazing to this day.
Well, I guess that leaves me.
Oh, no one cares. We'll just move on now.
Yeah, podcast's over. No one cares.
I'm so hurt now. I feel so much pain right now.
Quick. Okay, Synergy will be there at 1 a.m.
Yeah, no. I will be sobbing and crying in the corner for the rest of the night. Thanks. I'm now in so much pain. Mainly pain from laughter. But pain. Let's see. Well, everyone's looking at it on the screen. So I like the Hakushiki's line of suits. I'm a big fan of those. Also, some of the GMs, but I don't like all of them. I like the commander type and the sniper too.
Yeah?
Ground GM is pretty cool too, but
Even if it is missing its Vulcan cannons, right?
yeah, I don't know what the designers were thinking of when they did that one. I kind of like Skull Eater from the Veritech fighter. From Robotech and Macross.
That is pretty cool.
I like Roy's. His was my favorite Veritech fighter. I didn't like a lot of the other designs, but I liked his. Even when Rick started piloting it, but I still like that one. I also liked what was it? It was in season 3 of Robotech, or part 3. I know it was a completely different series, but
Oh, I think I know which ones you're talking about. The ones that can turn to motorcycles?
that one. I love those. Those are awesome. It's kind of like having Master Chief armor, but you can transform into a motorcycle and drive away.
Well, we found out what the new Halo is going to be, folks.
Yep.
Halo 6 confirmed.
Halo 6 confirmed. We're getting a Master Chief armor that turns into a motorcycle and or jet.
God help us all.
God.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much longer we have everybody for.
I actually would like to make some more additions onto my favorites list.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Transformers, Shockwave, Gundam. I would say the Sinanju Stein.
Yeah.
Absolutely my favorite. Like, I know I use the regular Sinanju as my name and whatnot. Sinanju Stein would be my favorite. And I'm going to throw a little bit of an obscure one out there. Oh, before that, Zoids, I would have to say the Berserk Fuhrer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And the Gold Knight from 5-Star Stories.
Oh, thank you. Someone else remembers that.
I'm completely out of the loop on that one.
You don't know about Motorheads? What are you, a nerd?
Absolutely. As we've probably already established, I am a nerd, but I don't know everything. I can't be expected to be everybody's father.
Well, that explains why you haven't paid my mom child support in a while.
Oh, God.
We'll just let that one go for the sake of the show, Dad. Thanks a lot. Still haven't ever played catch with me, have you? Yeah, you're too busy with your new wife.
Yeah, she's better than your mom.
Yeah, don't even bother showing up on Christmas. No one wants you.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, my goodness.
Where were we at?
I have no clue. This adult soda is starting to take the best of me.
Oh, man.
Since Zoids was mentioned, I don't. I only watched some of the stuff that came out in North America, but Command Wolf, I like that one. I also like the one that was a raptor, but I have trouble remembering what it was called. But the show was cool because, you know, having two of my favorite animals in it is always awesome, and having them in robot form. Also for Transformers. I'm trying to think of a Transformer design that I really like. I think Jetfire.
Yeah, Jetfire's cool.
Yeah. I think that was one of my favorite ones. Except for Michael Bay ruined it for me, and I hate that Jetfire. It's like, oh goody, an old codger Jetfire. Good! That's what I want. I want an old man who can't even remember when he had his last breakfast.
Yeah, the same guy who turned a freaking Mountain Dew machine into a Transformer because, hey, marketing.
Yeah. And a beat pill.
Let's be honest though. It's still better than the marketing stuff that was put into 8 Crazy Nights.
Probably.
Oh, Adam Sandler, we used to love you.
We can just go and watch his old movies and be content there.
That's the worst part. Those don't even hold up really anymore.
Oh.
It's like whatever he's done now is like tainted his past.
Oh.
The only thing I look at those movies and I'm just like, man, I wish Chris Farley was still alive. Then I get really sad.
Yeah. And I can understand. It's because Adam Sandler hasn't evolved with the times. His shows are still the same as they were back then.
Yeah.
And now we're all older and we look back at it and he's still like, poopy caca doo doo doo. And it's like, okay, that's cool.
When are we going to grow up?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we going to move on? Are we going to have a more refined comedy taste? I mean,
Yes, next the round table where we talk about Adam Sandler.
Hey, okay. Pixels.
Yeah.
So there's some nerdism.
Which honestly, while it's really bad, it's not his worst film.
Probably not. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
That I'm going to have to say goes to Spanglish. I hated that movie.
I'm with you on that.
Okay.
See it. Didn't bother.
Didn't bother either.
I was forced to see it. I was roommates with someone who liked it. So
you have my deepest condolences, and you will be getting some money to your Patreon soon.
Thank you. You can find me at Unicron at patreon.com.
Well, we talked about favorite mech designs. How about least favorites, real quick?
Oh, least favorites. Destiny Gundam.
Yep. Okay, podcast is over, everybody. GG. No, I'm kidding.
Don't get me wrong. I'm actually one of the few people who can enjoy Seed and Seed Destiny because I understand what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a remake of Gundam and Zeta Gundam as well as Double Zeta for the new generation.
Yeah.
It didn't work out as well as what they hoped, but I can understand where they were going with it, which is why I have an it's all right thing for me. You know, I see it as good but not great because there's a lot of loopholes and stuff. But Destiny Gundam in the series, the mobile suit itself, Destiny Gundam, no, it shouldn't even work.
Nope, it shouldn't. It doesn't. Not by Sunrise standards and whatnot. The machine basically should be dead on arrival. So much failed mech design. So sad.
That, and it's essentially just Zeta Gundam fused with Wing Zero.
And also Victory Gundam and
F91.
F91. Turn A.
And by association of Turn A, also Shining, because they both have the shining finger type thing going.
Yes, Shin Finger. Oh, so lovely. I already saw that earlier today when I was playing a video game, playing Extreme Versus. It's like, oh goody, I love seeing Shin Finger. Thanks, Rosca.
Please rephrase.
Rephrase what? I ain't rephrasing nothing.
Okay, this just went up to PG-13, folks.
It did?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Nothing. If you don't know now, you never will.
Oh god.
Well,
I got it. I'm drunk.
You're drunk.
Yeah, I didn't start off this way, but yeah, I'm getting pretty drunk.
Yeah, I think Destiny Gundam is the same for me. I'm not a huge fan of all the mechanics that are involved in it. And I even have it as a model kit. And it just sits there on my shelf collecting dust. And I look at it and I'm all like, why did I buy you?
Well, I will give it this. It does have some parts of it that design looks cool. It's just not functional.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. It doesn't function properly.
Unlike the Dear God.
Yes, the Dear God, yes. We'll post a picture of Dear God right there. No. No, I'll link the description to the episode for Dear God. Link in the description to me and Rabbit's video with Dear God.
Shameless self-promotion.
It is shameless because I'm not afraid to promote it.
That plug, though.
It was like my favorite. It's probably my favorite episode so far.
That
Support
when you get hit
this
with the
podcast that you hate puppies.
What? What? What about hating puppies? I love puppies.
Good, then you would support this podcast.
Okay. Any other mech designs that we want to crap all over?
I got some.
Okay.
Go.
Everything in G-Reco and G-Reco as a whole. Screw G-Reco. I don't have to put up with any of that garbage.
Right there with you. Actually, I don't know. I think some of the designs might be okay, but I look at it and I'm like, I don't want to even touch it.
No, and the fact that it's the official end of Universal Century makes me very upset.
Yeah, let's wait until they retcon and decide, nope, that wasn't the ending, no, this is.
No, it better not be. It's like, oh yeah, this was an alternate universe. Yeah, it better be, because it was a freaking mess.
It was a utter disaster. The colony dropped 5 times over, and also shot through a meteor at it on top of everything else.
Yeah, so I just, everyone really shits on, like, Turnay's designs because of Sid Mead getting in there and doing it, but
yeah,
I don't know what it was. Like, everyone's just like, oh, the Turnay's stupid, it's got a mustache, and I mean, obviously that Turnay Shin model's coming out, but anyway, I think I just like it because it's so obscure, but it looks really cool. Obviously, it's Blade Runner-ish. It's supposed to be, but G-Reco, just everything about it, like, just I didn't even want to watch that just from the way it looked.
Yeah,
and I can't really say much because it's the same reason I won't watch, and you guys can hate me for it. This is the same reason I won't watch Age, 00, Seed, or Seed Destiny. I'm not a fan of the art styles. Sue me.
You're fine.
It's understandable. Yeah, you're used to the more bulky yet somewhat rounded mechs, and the ones in those are more streamlined and sleek, sort of like race cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the I'm also not a fan of art styles that are, I guess the best word to even describe it is really like feminine.
No.
They have really feminine art styles to them, but
are you just talking about how obviously the creator was probably a girl, or are you referring to the design itself?
The design itself.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with a Gundam creator being a woman at all.
Okay, good.
It's just that the designs were very, very feminine, and if I have a problem discerning the gender between characters, like who's that character in 00 that with the purple hair who looked like a chick and then it spoke like a dude? I'm like, whoa, hold on, hold up. I'm not even so up to do this. I think I'm gonna bust out. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
The adult soda's been taking effect, and I need to go. I'm too drunk for this.
Okay. That was Sinanjo, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sinanjo. Thank you. Thank you for your insight and lovely commentary. Whew. Okay. Well, he's gone now. And now we can entirely rag on him for the rest. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Well, if you don't know, then maybe it's a good time wrapping up.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got a good one.
Yeah.
We've got a gem on this one, guys. we got the star of the show here. This is the best podcast we've ever done. IGN.
Oh, that was part of it. Woo!
It's IGN. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah, they just hate all our water levels.
Yeah. I have no idea what that joke is. You lost me.
IGN hates water levels. End of story.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they complained about Wind Waker having too much water.
Oh my god. It's frickin' Wind Waker. That was the whole point. Go on a damn sailboat. You want to complain about water? Let's talk about the boring sailing of Assassin's Creed 4. It becomes tedious and boring.
Your notoriety up there, then it's fun.
I don't think it's fun even with the notoriety. It's just boring. I got bored. I'm like, could I just go to the next location where the story is supposed to progress?